I'm Leigh Brown. This is Crazy Shit in Real Estate. Today, I get to feel like a middle-aged mom because I'm talking to the daughter of one of my dear realtor friends, and her level of positive energy is infectious. Enjoy this conversation with Libby Azzarello, and I'll see you on the other side. You're listening to Crazy Shit in Real Estate. You'll be amazed at all these wild but true situations that others have found themselves in. Because on this show, you'll hear uncensored, unbelievable stories from the world of real estate. I'm Leigh Brown. Let's dive right in. Before you get the rest of the story, I'd love to share a quick message from today's sponsor. If you've never heard of Follow Up Boss, you're going to love it. And it's going to get you organized in a way that will actually impact your business for profitability and for better excellence with those you're serving. For more information, go to followupboss.com/crazy. Thank you for agreeing to come on the show.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I like your cute earrings. Are those Halloween earrings?
Yes, we've got trick and treat.
Of course you do.
My baby is just figuring out what Halloween is this year, and she wakes up every morning and kisses our pumpkins. So Halloween's now my favorite holiday ever.
I mean, it doesn't last long. I'll just say that as a mom of teenagers, it doesn't last nearly long enough. So enjoy the heck out of it.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited.
So what are we going to have in the house? We're going to have a witch, a ghost, a Power Ranger. What are we having for a costume?
So we have a couple. The first is Itsy Bitsy Spider. So my mom gets on FaceTime with baby Nell and does Itsy Bitsy Spider. So she does like these little baby hands. So today we're going downtown in our little town and trick-or-treating. I'm dressing up her wagon like the water spout. The dog is the sunshine. It's just going to be a whole thing.
Oh, you're going to be like a whole thing on Instagram and Pinterest, aren't you?
Girl, yes. That is a lot of people make fun of the Pinterest mom, but that is something that I dreamed of. And it is my love language. The laundry's not done, but we all have matching costumes. So that's one. And then we're all going to be fast food characters for Monday. I'm going to be Wendy. My husband's going to be Burger King. The dog is going to be McDottie because her name is Dorothy. And we have Taco Nell for the baby because her name is Nell.
Nell, are you serious? That's so damn cute.
I kid you not. So until she grows an opinion, we're just going to be dressing her up against her will. So.
I mean, I wish I could find it. There was somebody on Instagram had their kid wrapped up in Subway paper. Hang on. I have to see if I can find it. I think it's on the Don't Try It, Make It account, which is like my seriously favorite account on Instagram. Don't make it. Hang on. Don't make it. Hey, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Make it.
Okay. Oh, that's right up my tree.
All right. So look at this. I mean, like, I'm going to have to go borrow somebody's kid and go to Subway and get a sub just to wrap the kid.
I am speechless.
And put a tomato and lettuce on its head. I know, just stop. But y'all are going to beat that with the fast food family. So, I mean.
We'll see. I'll send you pictures.
Look at you using that hair to its best advantage.
I know, I had to be the cute one. My husband's going to be the Burger King, so.
As long as he's not creepy, because the Burger King in the ads is a little off.
We don't do masks. I'm not here for that. It's not my journey. I don't like it. No clowns.
I remember my Wonder Woman mask when I was like 6, and it was those, you're a little younger than I am, but these were the plastic molded ones that had the one piece of elastic that went around the back to hold it on. So if you put it on wrong, it like snap your face. And it smelled like new plastic, which I love the smell of new plastic, but you couldn't breathe. And so your whole face would sweat. They were amazing. You
got to pick your battles there, breathing. Yeah.
My mother hated buying those things, but what do you do when you're a parent? You buy the stuff because you're only little once.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Libby Azzarello, tell my audience where you're located, how long you've been in real estate. Give them a little bit of the Libby story, besides the fact that they now know you're now a Halloween mom and an overachiever with the family costumes. They know that piece.
It's all about balance. So I am a real estate agent in Raleigh area. So I kind of work Cary, Raleigh, Durham, all over the place in the triangle. I have officially been in real estate for 5 years, listing and selling. However, I used to work for the MLS in DC.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I called myself a professional care bear. So I had several offices that I had in my territory, and I would just go in there and love on them and make sure that they knew what was going on. I did a lot of training. And that's kind of where I fell in love with, working with other agents and training and coaching. I taught them how to use all the different little tricks and stuff in the MLS and went to their events and just made them feel like a part, because that's a big MLS up there.
Yes, it is. That's G-Car, right? So you were doing the G-Car in Northern Virginia. Who were you doing?
So we were all over the place. I guess
you have all the DMV realtors, right?
Yep. So we had DC, this was before, so they just merged with Pennsylvania and Delaware. So it's really big now. But before then, I had
Bright. Hang on, we talking Bright?
Right. Yeah.
Bright. Okay.
Yep. So that I was there for the rebrand. We used to be MRIS. Then we were Bright MLS. I worked in Southern Maryland, West Virginia, Southern Virginia, all over the place. And I would just sit in my little car and drive, and then just pop into people's offices randomly and help them through issues and all kinds of stuff like that.
An easy transition into the sales side because, frankly, you know more than 99% of realtors about the amount of information that's available.
And how to do. I usually only release that information at a certain point if I want to make friends, because people will call me in the middle of the night and say, how do I run this search? How do I find this particular type of community? But
Libby, they're performing the same two functions in that amazing MLS all the time. How do I find a house? How do I find a sold house? And they're not even digging into the depth of what's out there, which is so fascinating. What we could tell people about their zip codes, their neighborhoods, the radius around it, the house type. I mean, there's so much cool information in there.
There is. And I used to get so jazzed, and I still do. I hope this is offensive. I'm a huge nerd about data.
It's not offensive anymore. 40 years ago it was. Now it's popular to say that. Yeah.
Right. I got cute little glasses and everything. So I am here for the data. And as I'll chat about later too, I think that's really how I help a lot of clients is I don't make decisions for you. I help you make good decisions, because a lot of people will say, well, what would you do if you were me? I'm like, here's what the market's saying. Here are the exact numbers. You got to know how bad you want it and all of that good stuff. So I love to lean on that a lot.
Well, and frankly, every realtor should, because there is a misconception in the public that we push people into decisions. And I'm sure there are some pushy realtors out there, but the bulk of us are trying to say, look, here's the whole menu. This is the upside. This is the downside, pros and cons. This is the range of pricing on your house, because it's always a range. And then to say, look, I can defend anything on this platter. So what do you want to do? And I think that's where the data tells the story in a way that we can't tell it, because data doesn't lie, although you can manipulate data sometimes. But in the MLS world, I mean, what's garbage in, garbage out? Actually, it could totally be manipulated now that I say that out loud. But a good realtor doesn't manipulate data or put bad data in.
Yep, exactly. That's the ticket. And it helps to know that it's all human entry too. A lot of people don't realize that. So when they say, I want a fenced backyard, part of my buyer presentation is saying, I can put that in, but you might miss a lot because people don't put that. So it's a whole thing. And I lean on that so much. But you're exactly right. I'm a very emotional person. So I don't like when people are mad at me. Some people have a thick skin. My skin is about the depth of a piece of toilet paper. So I love to go back to data and just say, I didn't tell you, you have to do this. I didn't tell you this wasn't a big deal. These are all the types of things you can look at. So I lean on that a lot. I love that MLS knowledge. Before that, I actually worked for Disney in the wedding department doing.
So you've got all the Disney quality training in your background too?
Yep. And that was immeasurable. It was so cool to learn from such a big company. I was in the social media world for quite a while. So working with customer service is huge with them. And then weddings of all things, like if you can imagine a Disney bride, it was a whole thing.
I would just imagine like your traditional bride time's about 45,000%.
45,000% sounds fair on a good day. And the things that they do, like you have to wake up and get married and get your hair done before the park opens. I mean, these people are like in it to win it. So decisive ladies.
And you could buy a house for what you spend on those. And we'll just.
Yep. What's the show now that's out there? Marriage or Mortgage? Have you seen that?
They actually filmed an episode with me and with one of my wedding planners here, where you were supposed to help them decide if they should get a big wedding or do a down payment on a house. And she and I were so blunt. They're like, we can't use this episode. So they wouldn't use it.
Oh, no. Well, to me, there's only one answer, but.
I know, because I'm like, seriously? I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? And then she looked at it and she's like, I mean, you should probably buy the house. This is crazy. And they're like, this doesn't work.
You guys got to fight. You got to give us some drama here, people.
Yeah, it was going to be a 5-minute episode, which doesn't really win the day for anybody. But it's so interesting because like, it's an interesting overlay to what you're doing now. Like you went from understanding people that are spending 5 and 6 figures on their wedding to looking at the data points that tie everything together and then come to the other side of what do you do with that data? Do you spend that money and you got to spend it again? So your experience is so intricately woven to make people have a great real estate experience.
Did you figure my life out for me? That's awesome. I've never made that
this A to B. Like it's so linear. Like it's so good. You wouldn't see it as linear, like when you're in that life, but you look back at it and you're like, oh, it all adds up. And I think that's probably underestimated as a beauty for young people now because they don't like to have to step back and look at why things happen, but things happen for a reason and they are connected, which means that when your kid goes to get married, I bet you'll be the best mom ever. You'll be like, no, I'm good. Yeah. We're not going to fight about that. We're going to fight about something else. Now we're good.
You're going to forget about it. Yep. Always. So yeah, so that's kind of my background. And then I grew up in a real estate family, which is kind of what brought me to meet up with you.
Mom or dad or grandparents?
Dad. So, well, everybody. So grandfather, uncle, dad, and now me. So when I say I didn't have, no one forced me in, but I was like selling lemonade at the open houses when I was little. And my dad owns an independent firm in Roanoke, Virginia. So I kind of grew up there, honing my sales experience, selling Girl Scout cookies. And
my favorite realtor friend in Virginia is in Roanoke.
Is it my dad?
Kit Hale.
Yep. One and the same. He's my best friend too, but he's probably your best friend.
I love him so much, but I did not know that your uncle's in real estate too.
So he's their real estate attorney. So I worked there doing closings and stuff for them.
That's why your dad doesn't say that out loud. Then you don't advertise that you have an attorney in the family.
Right. We've worked him on a lot of different angles, and all we need is a doctor in our family. So,
well, maybe you gave birth to one. I mean,
there you go.
Next year's Halloween, the family of medical professionals, and you can show your kid later and be like, "Look, baby, had it planned out from day one."
Yep. Just live up to this little potential right here.
Oh, hang on. So go back to your Disney thing. So Disney, obviously, they're known for the experience of the visitor, and it's all about the experience. Has that colored what you've done in real estate and how you built your business based on what do you want to fix about the way the business runs?
100%. So that was one thing. Disney always made things very seamless. And it was interesting because there was a lot that they wanted to, I won't say hide, but like, for instance, the trash is like sucked out every hour on the hour. So it doesn't get stinky in the Florida heat.
Are there holes under the trash cans?
Yep.
There's like
a vacuum system and it sucks the trash out. So it doesn't get stinky. For real. And there's like a whole network of tunnels underneath of Disney where, so cast members will like go down and you just pop up in a different part of the park. So they use that for a lot. I hope I'm not spilling too many Disney secrets, but this is out there.
Now I want to go to Disney so I can go look under a trash can, and it's going to look strange when I do that. So if somebody sees me, it's Libby's fault.
We'll go there. I'll hold your feet and I'll just dip you down into the trash can. Like, yeah.
With my camera, I'll be like, what are we doing down here?
Steven will suck it up. But just the way that they think of things is incredible. But what I loved the most, especially being in the wedding department, they were big on what they called surprise and delight. So just randomly, like if a kid drops their ice cream, you're trained to go get them another one. Or like if you overhear that the kid is going to be Tinkerbell for Halloween, leaving a wand in their room, like all types of things like that, just like surprising and like making people feel loved. I do that often in my business now. And real estate, I guess, can feel kind of salesy or like slimy and like its bad reputation. But I think the real estate purchase is too big to be considered sales. It has to be based on trust and that sort of thing. It's not even like a car. It's not like a skincare product. Like I can't make you or sell you a house. I can make you trust me and feel excited about the process. So my biggest pillars in my business are to make it easy and fun, which is very Disney focused. So throughout the process, not just at the closing day, but I like to do little things throughout the process. And then even if they like lose out on a house, how does that feel? Kind of crummy. So giving somebody a little pick me up there, or when they get pre-approved, like that kind of keeps them throughout what they call the customer journey, but just making people like have fun with it. And then even after closing, I'm in their neighborhood, dropping them a gift card for the ice cream shop in their neighborhood. I have fallen in love with our area. And fun story about that. My husband and I, when we were moving from DC, we decided that each of us would pick a city randomly and just take the other person there for a weekend and try and like sell the person on the city. And we had never been
before you had kids, right? Y'all were just thinking, okay, just two married people. Okay, just check.
Yes, very fly by the seat of our pants. He was a consultant, so he could just go wherever as long as they had an airport. So I picked the triangle and I won. Though we didn't have kids at that time, we did move 2 days after our honeymoon and then like adopted a dog. So it's been a whole like whirlwind of things. But I have fallen so in love with our area that I try and like loop that into a lot of the little surprise and delight moments. People come to me for like restaurant recommendations and like vets and stuff like that. And that's the side of real estate that I really like. I love data and I love closing day and things like that. But the like hustle, like calling 100,000 people a day and asking them for weird things, like that's just not how I run my business. So
that's data too, though. I mean, and we often forget how valuable that is. People would rather not go to Nextdoor, Facebook, or Angie's List if they could just call you. And you've got the data for all the stuff. You're like, oh, just call her. This is so much easier. Yeah. And it's also really, it's a good feeling to be the resource that somebody can lean on. And you've vetted all these places out, I'm sure. So you know what they're calling you for. So is that your focus on your surprise and delight? Is that you like to, how do you show surprise and delight in real estate? And I'm going to keep saying that because I love that phrase. And I wish it would permeate the whole real estate profession because it's such a painful process, all the unknowns. That would smooth over a lot of the annoyance moments.
Yes. And so I kind of start with a very solid foundation, which for me, somebody who like is a Disney princess, surprise and delight, systems and foundation doesn't sound fun, but that's what allows me to have fun and make my clients feel relaxed. So I have a very good foundation. I have one weekly email that I send out and I have them saved in my Google Drive. And that's just what they need to do each week. And I always tell them, of course, your lender and other folks are going to have things that you need to do, but it's kind of like a kid. As long as you get these little chores done, I give them
ice cream.
You get an ice cream. We're going to, yes. And I literally have given ice cream. I'll like give them links to change your voter registration, get your utilities set up. The first one is in North Carolina, working with your closing attorney. So each week just has one focus. Because when people buy a house, they're like, I have to buy a whole house. And they're like, they think about closing day and they think about final walkthroughs. And you don't need, I'm like, just if you come with me, I promise you, we're going to get there. But just live in the moment, live week by week. So each of those, like, I'm like, when you're done this, you're done, then you can go play, have your ice cream. And I switch it up per client. One time I just sent them like a bunch of like moving boxes and tape and stuff like that from Amazon will actually send prepackaged boxes and tape. Some people I've given, like they need to get out of their house when they were listing. They had a bunch of kids. So I gave them a gift card to a local restaurant and made it fun for them. If people have gotten a new job throughout the process, I just pop back up because I want to be their friend instead of like, this pesky realtor person. I bought from you last year. Why are you still here? I'm like, wait a second. I know where all the good parks are. Like, I was in your neighborhood and I just dropped off in North Carolina where you can put all your North Carolina beer bottle caps. We're just buddies now. And I find that when I'm thinking of them, like I texted a client the other day and I just said, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. I was thinking about you. She goes, I need you. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, Lassie. I'm like, I had this feeling
like I'm ready.
I had gone out and I was like, I'm here for you. What do you need? So it was like, I just kind of like thought of that person. So whenever I do that, I'll either try and drop something off and they're going to be your biggest advocates in whatever neighborhood you're on.
And they're about to get a text from you and be like, I just thought about you while I was recording the podcast episode because I love you. And they're going to say, oh my God, what is this?
Yes. And people, like, everybody loves to be thought of, and it feels weird. And if you're like, I'm just going to like go give this person a present. And like, if you think about all of the times where someone has said something nice about you or referred that client's business to somebody. I have a lot of clients who are business owners. Just little things like that go such a long way. But I have found if I don't have a strong foundation, I can't do the fun stuff.
Have you ever driven by a house that you sold and somebody else's sign is in the yard? It's about the most painful experience any realtor will ever have. And then comes that moment of, oh, snap, it's on me. I didn't stay in great touch. And I can tell you, after 22 years in the business, I still go through that, but I've reduced the opportunities for failure because I have learned to do better with follow-up. And honestly, when you follow up better with the people you've served in the past, it's going to make you a better realtor in the future too. And that's what this program will get you. If you've never heard of Follow-Up Boss, you're going to love it. The best top producers in this business, they're already using Follow-Up Boss. So if you wondered why that person gets more business than you, it might be the program. There's like 250 integrations. So whatever you're using now probably could plug in with Follow-Up Boss. Keep everything in one place. You can decide how many and how often to follow up. It's all on you, but the system will be there. You do get a 30-day free trial for hanging out over here on crazy shit. Go to followupboss.com/crazy. It didn't used to be weird, right? So all you're doing is really bringing back the old ways of the kindnesses. They're just little tiny kindnesses because you're not talking about anything that's thousands of dollars or huge time consuming. It's those little thoughts that make somebody else feel noticed. And as you said at the beginning, we're not really selling things, we're helping make things happen. But the trust comes from being there and going below the surface, which is so huge. Because I think Disney's problem, I think, is sometimes they're too surface because you don't see any flaws. And so if you did see a flaw, you'd be shocked. Well, real estate is all flaws, but we only look at the realtors who are talking about, oh, we're going to make it so easy. And there's nothing easy about it. Instead, I love that, especially that little moving box thing. You're like, look, I need you to start. And here's your first 5 boxes. Go pack these up. Checked off list. And now we're going to keep moving forward because they don't really know how big it's going to be until they get started on it. And then a lot of people get completely paralyzed by the size of the project, especially if they've been in that house more than 5 minutes. Or wait till you guys move after you've had a kid now. Now your house is covered in plastic and toys and
artwork.
Stuff. Oh, the artwork.
Masterpieces.
I'll have to find, Archive. Have you heard of Archive?
No.
ARTKIVE? Honey, they send you a box and it's giant. So it takes any kind of art. So it could be 3D art, handprints, whatever they make. And you send it, they digitize it and turn it into a book. So you have all the art, but you don't have crates of it.
Oh my gosh, I'm writing this down.
Best money ever spent. Now, my daughter, she's 17 now, but she is an actual artist. And so we felt like we can't throw anything away because we can watch her progression.
Yes.
But there's limited wall space and there's limited storage space. And none of it means anything to her. I'm the only one that really wants to look at it, not even my husband. So it's amazing.
I love it. Done. And then you can give them the book when they get older. You can make 2 books.
Totally. Or give one to the grandparents and Christmas is handled. Shazam.
You are just solving my whole life. I love this.
Right.
No, you do this every day.
Now all you have to do is have a baby so we can wrap it in Subway paper.
I'll add that to my list for next week.
I mean, you're young enough to have some more, your body will still bounce back. I'm past that age now. So keep on having babies. And the world needs
that for you.
And actually, they're great marketing when you have babies.
I tell you what. So I have little shirts that I give out to people's babies that it says new crib on the block. And then I'm like, that's another thing. I don't put my logo and everything. I was like, that's a cute
but that's a surprise and delight right there.
Yes. So when people have babies, I give them the little onesie and I give them paper plates and plastic forks and like plastic wrap. We use press and seal in this house. And that is because, and so I say new baby wishes and a break from the dishes. Because you're going to get like so much food and you like don't want to wash dishes. So you're going to paper plates, stuff to wrap up the food, and then you get a little onesie in there.
Okay, so let me ask you a question because you've got some true granola hippies up there in the Triangle area. What if the client is like a super greeny, environmental, edge of the world person, would you not give them that gift? Or do you just pray that they're going to be chill enough after having a baby not to lose their mind over a cute thing?
That is an excellent question. I have never ran into that.
We won't talk about it then because obviously it doesn't exist in your client base.
Well, so that's my thing. I love to, and as most realtors do, love to work on referral and like really hone down the type of people I work with, because the first year, or not the type of people, but the network and things like that.
No, you mean like it's like who you gel with. It's got nothing to do with immutable characteristics. Of course. There's a butt for every saddle. Carry on.
Yes, exactly. And so I have not personally met anybody who doesn't love a paper plate, but I agree. I think after having a baby, you're just like sleep deprived and enough that I tried that too with pizza when I had some clients close. I gave them a pizza gift card and some paper plates because it's not many. I think we'll keep the landfills busy, but we won't make them overflow with that.
No, I guess you've walked into that space. Like we're all so trying to be thoughtful nowadays, but you can talk yourself out of doing anything when you get into that space of fear. So I love that you're just going out and doing your nice things and we don't stress about it because people need nice things done for them. And I do think a pizza gift card is better than dropping off the actual pizza because people get very persnickety about pineapple. Like it should be on a pizza or it shouldn't. Like it's like candy corn. You're living on the edge wearing candy corn earrings because they cause people to melt down.
And would get canceled.
It's so funny. It's like it's just candy people.
I am like the least, so I like pineapple. I love candy corn. And I like black jelly beans. Like I'm like,
I love black jelly beans. You like them too? Nobody knows
them. And like people like you, like you can have them. Like great, I'll take them.
I'm like just put them all in my hand. I love licorice
all day. Yeah,
we're the only ones. High five. That's awesome.
We'll split a bag. But yeah, so I think the surprise and delight is like so much fun. And I think realtors also get, especially right now in our market, we get into this phase of I'm never going to sell another house again. And how do I like get myself mentally? So I find just doing stuff like that, finding people who have babies, bringing them a meal, like having fun with it makes you feel good, makes them feel good. And as a byproduct generates the type of business you want. But
let's just say that again. When you do all the good things, it generates business as a byproduct. I think that's the biggest mistake people make is in any kind of sales is trying to do the sale first and then they do the relationship as the byproduct. You got it completely backwards. That would be like, let's have a kid. All right, so now let's go on a first date. No. We start and get to know each other and build some trust and build some relationship and learn about each other. And then eventually, maybe a house happens and maybe it doesn't, but their best friend does. And so I think that this is critical for people to listen to right now as the market changes, because when markets change, fear takes over, and fear has this tendency to knock people out of their routines and knock them out of their habits. And then they start acting out of fear, but you can't. It's just not a good way to operate. Frankly, it's a miserable way to live. Nobody wants to be miserable. All right. So 5 years in the business, 3 of it was COVID. So a blur of weirdness. And you've seen a market that went white hot on fire. And now we're going to watch the settling out that occurs. Love to know, what have you seen? Now, you come from a history of real estate. You've worked with realtors in different markets, but it's all the way different when you are the boots on the ground. So, Libby, what have you seen that made you go, is this for real?
Okay, I have a doozy one. And surprisingly, it's Halloween themed, which is just perfect. Well, not on purpose, but it was around Halloween last year. No, 2 years ago, because I remember it. I was aggressively pregnant at the time. And this will make sense in a second. And of course, COVID, wearing all the masks.
Oh, that was the people who were decorating damn PVC pipes and dropping candy to the kids down PVC pipes. Things that should never have happened. And we now should make fun of it heartily. But you were aggressively pregnant. That phrase is like my favorite of the day. So I love it.
I mean, you know that when you're at that moment where you're like, so we walked into the house, the smell was so bad. I had to change my mask twice. I had to throw away an entire cloth mask. So we walk in and there's a picture on the mantle of the seller. And I was like, it looked like a memorial. And I was like, is she still with us? Like, what's going on? She just had pictures of herself all around the house, which like, go girl. There were packs of cigarettes and ashtrays on every surface.
Well, you gotta have
people try to hide them. Like she's living her best life. That's not it though. Go into the bedrooms. Each bedroom has a themed doll presence.
Nope. Now we're done. We're done now.
A whole thing of Furbies, a whole wall. One Furby is enough. Furby? No. Like, I'm not having that. We had Elvis Barbies. I mean, each room had like a whole doll theme. And there were dolls under the bed. There were dolls on top of the bed. Like, so then we go upstairs. There was also like crimson carpet throughout the entire house, which could have been part of the scent experience. Go upstairs to an open bonus room with no doors, and there is an entire bathtub, a jacuzzi bathtub that works sitting in the bonus room. So imagine like leaving your Furbies downstairs, going upstairs, like I'm going to have a bath, like in this red carpeted bonus room with no doors. It was just so, furthermore, my clients were feeling a little bit desperate. They put in an offer. They wanted to go back. They put in an offer, and it was not a full price offer, if you can imagine.
Shocking.
The seller comes back and they say, no, thank you. We'd prefer full price. And we said, okay, have a good day. Love ya. So that was by far the craziest house I'd been to twice. And it had like a little miniature piano by the bathtub. There were like inflatable palm trees. I mean, it was just...
Wait. Did you say inflatable palm trees were beside the bathtub?
Inflatable palm trees. I call them, it was very buyer specific, as that's one of my favorite terms. Very buyer. There's, as you said, there's a butt for every saddle. There's a lid for every pot. I hope it found its person.
And there's a bathtub for every open bonus room.
There sure is. There's that type of person that's just going to love that.
Do you know that house, I think, belongs in the as yet unwritten annals of the COVID era real estate? Because I've said several times, while things were so hot, houses like that was your chance to sell it. The houses that back up to power lines, that are on 4-lane highways, that are a hot mess. Mm-hmm. They kind of needed to sell while the market was on fire, because now the market's settling out. It's going to be back to no, I'm good.
I'm all set with that.
And I'd take the Elvis Barbie though. I mean, I would take that.
Well, that would have cut down her collection by maybe like an 18th. And that's the other thing. We're like, is she ever going to physically be able to move out of this home? Because they had to sell, and it would have been a quick turnaround. I was like, this is going to take girlfriend like quite a while to get out of the house. And it was...
Yes, but Libby surprises and delights and can send some moving boxes with moving tape to help you along. And we'll have one box for these dolls and one for this. And let's not pack up the inflatable palm trees. They should stay with the house.
We got to write that into the contract.
That is personal property.
North Carolina contract will get you every time.
I mean, it's just a fun conversation to have with people. You're going to have to take that with you, and no, you're going to have to leave this one.
It's funny to like hear people's like expectation of what stays and what goes. And yeah, I've learned a lot of, as my dad says, affordable mistakes, where I've ended up buying, curtains for somebody or furnishing a house that I thought was furnished and it wasn't, all kinds of things like.
You're not in real estate if you haven't bought some things that were not obvious. That's just part of the game. My dad taught me to explain that section of the offer to purchase with, if it's nailed, screwed, or glued to the house, it stays. And so to this day, I walk through to my sellers. I'm like, this nailed, screwed, or glued, it's got to stay. And they're like, well, what about the curtain rods? Nailed. What about the curtains? Nope, they're not attached. What about the ceiling fan? Screwed.
I love that. We love a rhyme. Nailed, screwed, or glued.
Nailed, screwed, or glued to the house.
That needs a t-shirt. You need to put that on a t-shirt.
That's kind of a Pinteresty look too.
Yeah.
Pinterest is all about nailed, screwed, and glued. And by the way, I do make laundry detergent based on what I found on Pinterest, to your little comment earlier. My husband likes to make fun of me for Little House on the Prairieing, but let me make myself a little note here, because that would make a really cute little t-shirt.
I tell you what, yes, I'm all about a catchphrase. I'm getting ready to go on a camping trip, or not camping, I don't camp, a beach trip in January. The theme is camp, and our theme is going to be Kumbaya, y'all. We love a theme. And I have a tagline for my business is real estate, lifestyle, real life, and lifestyle. Real estate, real life, and lifestyle.
So wait a minute. Are you going to do going on a bear hunt? Going on a bear hunt. And you have to go through the tall grass. Run really fast.
The pet.
This just unlocked a memory fun on your camping trip.
I love it. Done and done. I'm like more true Beverly Hills than like we're not going to be, no nature will be harmed in the production.
So this is the tall grass, not actually having to walk in it. So it's a win for everybody.
Done. I love it. Adding that to our itinerary.
Libby, thank you for coming on my show. I want to hang out some more and we'll share the licorice jelly beans.
Yes.
If somebody's looking for an amazing realtor in the triangle, which by the way, can I just point out, listeners and viewers, it's not the triad. I love y'all when you send me a message and you're like, hey, Leigh, who's in the triad/triangle? That's two different areas. Triangle is Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill. Triad is Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem. So it's two different areas. So
good friends
Libby,
in both places.
Somebody wants you over here, Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill. How do they find you?
So I'm on Instagram. It is my favorite, often too much. I am at home with Libby on Instagram. And I share everything from, I say, buying the house, inside the house, outside the house. So life hacks, tips, crafts, all kinds of good stuff.
Halloween costumes. Will we see the families Halloween on there?
We've got Halloween costumes. The first one will be this afternoon. So go ahead and give me a follow. We're going to go to downtown Fuquay Arena, has trick-or-treating this afternoon.
Oh, yay.
So we'll be posting that. Lots of local stuff. My website is athomewithlibby.com. And then Libby at athomewithlibby.com is my email. So I'd love to meet y'all. And I'm just so excited. Can I take a picture of us?
I think you totally should. I took one if you didn't notice, and you can take one too. And by the way, friends, all of Libby's conversation, all of her contact information, and you enjoyed the conversation too, it's all in the show notes for this episode. You should totally reach out with any of your real estate needs or questions. And you'd also should ask her for tips and tricks on the MLS. You might trade that for a referral. I'm just saying.
Yep. That is gold. I would happily do that. I nerd out, as I said, over all of that. So happy to help and can't wait to meet y'all. And thank you, Leigh, so much. This was awesome.
Thank you. See, I knew I would love you because I love your dad. And so, y'all, this is why you actually want to show up at realtor events and conferences and meetings, because you don't just meet people that do real estate. You meet really great people. And then if you're lucky, you get to meet their kids. You find out their kids eat licorice jelly beans too. It's what a world we live in. Happy Friday. I love it. All right, my dear, have a wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you around soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
All right, guys, say something nice about Libby in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you next time. Okay, now don't forget to go try Follow Up Boss so that your business can continue to expand in professionalism, and then you can meet some more crazy people yourself. I really appreciate Follow Up Boss sponsoring this episode, but mainly I appreciate them for giving y'all double the free trial time with no credit card required. So make sure you go to followupboss.com/crazy and then let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm so super thrilled that you joined in for more crazy shit. And if you're a realtor, investor, inspector, lender, or just a regular human being who happens to have an unbelievable story that you need to tell the world about, or frankly, you just need to one-up the story you just heard, then make sure to DM me on Instagram at Leigh Thomas Brown, or tweet me at Leigh Brown, or frankly, any social network where you hang out. I'm there. And if you had some fun, then you totally want to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.